you were named in the New York Times as a potential replacement to Secretary Perry at Energy. Is that a job you would be interested in?
Well, what's interesting about that, last week I was in Houston with Secretary Perry, and we were in an energy conference, and we do a lot together. OPIC and the Energy Department are very involved in many projects, so I enjoy working with Rick. I've known him for years, but I've got so much I'm doing at OPIC right now. We're deep in the weeds for all our projects, so I'm very happy with what's going on.
But would you be interested should that opportunity open up?
You know, I've got so much going on at OPIC right now, so I really haven't thought about it.
Okay. All right, let's move on. You guys, Congress has just introduced legislation that would create a new and bigger development finance institution. What does that mean for OPIC? Because I think, from my understanding, is it would expand, I think, everything under one umbrella. But what would that mean specifically for OPIC?
Well, when OPIC was established in 1971, the financial tools it was given at the time were very cutting edge in the financial markets. Since that time, it really hasn't innovated itself to the point where financial markets are today. So Senator Corker, Senator Coons introduced legislation about 2 or 3 weeks ago that are modernizing our ability to do business in these countries.
So what specifically, would that mean that OPIC would fall under there, or would it all just go through one channel? Or for folks who are looking for overseas investment, where would they have to go through this new agency?
Well, OPIC, what they're talking about doing is bolting on some other parts of USAID, for example, and some feasibility study possibilities. What we have right now are really 3 silos. We do political risk insurance, we do private equity fund investing, and we also do what's called structured finance, which is debt financing. But we need the ability, like every other DFI in the world, to be able to do equity investing, as well as we need the ability to do feasibility studies so we can go into a country that has been earmarked to look at projects. Right now, we don't have the ability to independently assess them on our own before private companies come see us.
So when private companies come to see you, because most folks on Wall Street know what OPIC is,
right.
When private companies come to see you, in particular, with the backdrop of everything that's been going on with trade, in particular, or tariffs, what's the conversation been like from the private sector as the developments of these trades and tariffs have gone on, and quite frankly, received criticism from the private sector?
Well, what's interesting is OPIC only invests domestically or in a regional type thing. They don't export to the United States. We cannot lend money to anyone that's going to displace a single U.S. job. So the tariff thing doesn't really affect us whatsoever. So countries we go to will produce, again, for their domestic consumption or for a regional consumption. You're
launching a new initiative tonight specifically helping women in developing countries. Tell me about it.
Well, when I was first nominated and then confirmed last summer, I told the Senate Foreign Relations Committee that one of my objectives is a women's initiative. And so I've seen through my travels through the world, and specifically in Zambia, where my family and I have helped out with some orphanage there, I've seen how women don't have access to the credit markets to do things, and specifically water. And one thing that OPIC has done, and I've gone over to see in India, is a thing called Water Health. And what they do is they enable communities to have clean water right there so women don't spend the entire day going to get water, to bring it back for cleaning, for food preparation, and their whole day goes away. This way, it enables a clean water to have women where they're able to go. That's just one specific example. Also, fintech. There's a huge platform for fintech for women that have access to credit through their cell phones and other ways that they currently don't have. So we've committed as OPIC $350 million, and that'll catalyze another $1 billion. We're announcing it tonight to go in. We've hired a staff led by Katie Kaufman to go in and look for these. So we're openly looking for U.S. companies that would like to create a women-led type initiative in these other countries.
How does that help U.S. businesses?
Oh, it helps in a huge way, because what we're doing is, really what OPIC is, it's a foreign policy and national security thing. And so the more women that have jobs and stabilize families is a stabilizing influence to countries, and that's why OPIC exists.
And Ivanka has been, on my understanding, pretty helpful?
Yeah, Ivanka's been very helpful. When we were in India, she came out and spoke on our behalf, and so she's been very involved in helping us.
All right, I got to press you one more time.
Yeah.
You're down in Texas the other week with Secretary Perry.
Yeah.
This didn't come up, you replacing at the, not even a little bit?
No. It was 2.5 weeks ago. It was way before all this commotion started last week.